My name is Abraham, and I'm your big brother in recovery. Thanking you once again for coming back to take a look at some more information that we have on our channel. We thank you for subscribing and clicking the like button, and I thank all of you for giving me your comments. You know, I've been away on vacation with my wife, and I had to refresh myself, and as a result of that, I celebrated my 39th year of being clean and sober. So anybody in the month of November that's celebrating a sober birthday or dry date, you know, my hat goes off to you. You know, I want to talk about two things real quickly since this is a time of the year that is a real dangerous time of the year, and especially for people in recovery, those that are not spiritually fit. Uh, and that time of the year is the holidays. You know, we got Thanksgiving, Christmas preceding that, and obviously New Year's coming after Christmas. And those are three real dangerous times for people new to recovery and people that have been around for a while who haven't had a spiritual awakening as a result of the steps, because sometimes we have burnt, I know I did, all our bridges behind us, and we don't have any family to rely upon because, you know, they just don't want to be around us because they want to help us, but they don't know how, and we don't know how to explain to them how to help us, but they love us, but they're giving us that tough love. That's where the fellowship comes in at. The fellowship is so important. I mean, I thank God for the fellowship because I need both fellowship and sponsorship in order to sustain my sobriety. And those who can't rely on their natural families can rely upon those of us that are in the fellowship to get you through these times when people are normally with their natural families. I want to talk about a topic, like I said, that most people don't like to talk about. I don't either. I like to talk about the solution and not the problem. But relapse is not a part of recovery, but people do relapse. So I want to address this in a tactful way in which it will add value to anyone watching these videos right now. And I like to draw your attention to how it works. I'm going to give you a 10-point practical relapse prevention plan. 10 points I want to cover in a relapse prevention plan. And then we're going to talk about something else. So I'm going to give you an opportunity to get to your big book. I'd like for you to turn to page 58 and how it works. We're going to look at page 58. And I want to give you the first relapse prevention plan. It is thoroughly followed our path. That's the first one. You need to underline that in your book. Thoroughly followed our path. Notice it didn't say follow your path. It said our path. Why? We have a proven successful system. It works. It's a 75% recovery rate, if not higher, because it said in the sentence prior to, rarely have we seen a person fail who has thoroughly followed our path. The next one, the second relapse prevention point, completely give themselves. We need you to completely give yourselves to this simple program. You know, I often quote Einstein by saying, out of complexity gets simplicity. This is a very simple program, and it's so simple that a fool couldn't make an error and a blind man can see it. But I'm not saying that to be offensive. What I'm saying is, with the proper sponsorship, this program can be extra simple for you to grasp. Number 3, develop a manner of living which demands rigorous honesty. You know, destiny demands diligence. And notice what it says, a manner of living. I was an expert at surviving, but not until I came into the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous did I learn how to live. They had a program of living, right? Number 4, I talk about step 0 in the second paragraph, the second sentence on page 58. If you have decided you want what we have, and, here's a conjunction, and are willing to go to any lengths to get it, then you are ready to take certain steps. That's what I call step 0 because that's the pre-qualifier to taking step 1. But the fourth part in that paragraph or in that sentence is, are you willing to go to any lengths to get it? That's the key. Are you willing to go the distance? Number 5, be fearless and thorough from the very start. Sounds like step 4, right? Fearless because I got faith in step 3. Thorough simply means to get through it because our big book says in interaction, if you don't do a 5th step or a 4th and a 5th, you'll drink another 5th, right? Let go absolutely. What are we letting go absolutely of? Our old way of thinking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the 6th one. Let go absolutely. Here comes number 7 on page 59. Underline these. We ask his protection and care with complete abandon. Why? Because God could and would if he was sought. I can't do this by myself. And no human power could relieve my addiction, but God could and would, as they said, if he was sought. So let's read it backwards. He can't and he ain't if I don't seek him. Let's look at the next one. The steps we took. Notice it didn't say the meetings we made. The steps we took. Notice it didn't say the steps we studied and debated and elaborated on. The steps we took when? At once. Remember, Bill did them at once, and I will get to part 2 of that, but I want to do this for the holidays for some people that were on the fence. Page 60. Here comes number 9. Do not be discouraged, but be encouraged. Why? Because recovery is one word, hope. Last but not least, be willing to grow along spiritual lines. Why? Because spirituality is the solution to addiction. There's no chemical solution for your spiritual problem. You know, I hope you've gotten something out of this. I know tomorrow is Thanksgiving. I wanted to share this 10-point relapse prevention plan with you. And I want you to do 2 other things for me. I want you to read how it works, but before you read how it works, I'd like for you to Google why we were chosen. Google why we were chosen, and I want you to read why we were chosen, and then it'll make sense to work this program at once, because I tell you why. The question is, how soon do you want to recover? Or how soon do you want to get back in the right relationship with your higher power? Page 64 says it all. It says in the last paragraph, it says, when the spiritual malady or problem is overcome, we straighten out mentally and physically. That's the whole recovery process. In other words, we do recover. Now, in closing, I'd like to lay one more thing on you, because I know people are going to be doing all kind of things with their families, and they're going to be parties and whatever. But I want you to notice something. Go to page 100. Go to page 100. And I want us to look at the last paragraph. Notice what it's saying. Assuming we are spiritually fit. You remember on the page prior to, a couple of pages prior to, they were talking about we must be spiritually fit. You know, we mustn't rest on our laurels. But assuming we are spiritually fit, meaning we've recovered, we can do all sorts of things alcoholics are not supposed to do. People have said we must not go where liquor is served. I'm going to have family over, and guess what? They're going to be popping Cristal and Hennessy. And guess what? I'm going to be hosting it at my house, and it's not blasphemy for me saying this, but I won't be drinking any of it. Just because I can't drink doesn't mean they can't have a good time. I've recovered. Must not have it in our homes. Must shun friends who drink. We must avoid moving pictures which show drinking scenes. We must not go into bars. Our friends must hide their bottles if we go to their houses. We mustn't think or be reminded about alcohol at all. Our experience shows that this is not necessarily so. We meet these conditions every day. An alcoholic who cannot meet them still has an alcoholic mind. He hasn't recovered. There is something the matter with his spiritual status. There it is, right there. His only chance for sobriety will be someplace like the Greenland ice cap. And even there, an Eskimo might turn up with a bottle of scotch and ruin everything. So our rule, the second paragraph from the bottom. So our rule is not to avoid a place where there is drinking if we have a legitimate reason for being there. Notice that's in italicized print. That includes bars, nightclubs, dances, receptions, weddings, even plain, ordinary whoopee parties. To a person who has had experience with an alcoholic, this may seem like tempting providence, but it isn't. I'm saying this to say that where can you go in this world without power? There's nowhere to go. But once you get the power, you are no longer a slave. You are a free person. So my message today is that I hope you're free. I hope you've recovered. And I hope you are living a life of sobriety. And our book even says even sobriety is not enough. A man is unthinking if he think it is. But I will tell you what I think. The true essence of everything that we doing really is. And it's found on page 77. And I'd like to close with this. First sentence, first paragraph, third sentence. Our real purpose, not our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. But our real purpose is to fit ourselves to be of maximum service to God and the people about us. So you know what? On this upcoming Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's, I wish everybody out there a great time. Do everything that you need to do, and you can do it without using. And you know what? Make meetings, get with your sponsor, rely on the fellowship, and just enjoy your life, because life is to be enjoyed, not endured. This is your big brother Abraham, and I thank you for listening to another message. Please leave me some comments at the bottom, and I'll talk to you after Thanksgiving. By the way, happy Thanksgiving. All right, talk to you soon.